Hi, Mrs. Smith. Thank you so much for coming in today to talk to me about your son, Billy. He's really such a pleasure to have in the classroom. He brings a lot of creative energy, and he's my little helper. He's always ready to come in and pass out my papers, and he always helps his peers if they're struggling because he is a very smart kid. I gotta tell you, it's a pleasure to have in my classroom. So I just wanted to kind of talk to you about some of the things we've been going through in the classroom and what I've been recently testing all the students on their literacy abilities, and I did all of Billy's tests, and overall he did a really great job. I tested him in 4 different areas: phonemic awareness, phonics, his fluency, and his comprehension skills. And each of those really go into helping kids learn to read and how they develop their reading skills and writing skills. So he's in kindergarten. There's some things that we definitely expect and some things that are obviously out of his ability range or what we expect kindergartners to have the ability to do. So he is right on track, but I'll kind of walk you through each of them and explain how I thought he did. So to start, we did a phonemic awareness test, and basically that just means that when he sees a word, he can look at each letter and understand the individual sounds. So if he sees the word rug, he can say r, g, and know all the sounds of the word. That's phonemic awareness. He did a fabulous job on that. I started him off just by playing a fun little computer game. He had to match different words based on their sounds and sort them. He breezed through that, and I thought it was a little too easy for him. So I gave him a test with rhyming skills. So he would have to listen to a word and see if he could tell me, or a set of words. So I would say, rug and bug, and he would be able to tell me, yes, those rhymed, or no, those didn't rhyme. And he did a fabulous job. He nailed all of them and didn't hesitate once. The only thing that he sometimes got confused with were the sounds of B and D, which is very common for someone his age because they look the same, so it's easy for the kids to kind of get those mixed up. Next, I tested him on his phonics skills, and that's basically just, we did a nonsense word test, which is a whole bunch of short consonant, vowel, consonant words. So example again, rug, there's a consonant, vowel, consonant, and he just has to know how to say the words from looking at it. He did really well. Once again, the B and the D did kind of trip him up a little bit. After that, since he did so well with the short vowels, and I tried to work with him on digraphs and blends. Digraphs are going to be like an S and an H together. There are 2 sounds that make a completely new, or 2 letters that make a completely new sound, and then blends are going to be like BL and blend. They are 2 vowel or consonants next to each other, but they make independent sounds. He did really well with his blends, words like clock and, stuff like that. He did really, really well. He was okay with his THs for digraphs because he knows the and there and words like that are more sight words. But he struggled with the other ones. He wanted to say the words independently. So like chair, the word chair, he wanted to say air instead of chair. So he just needs a little help with that. He told me that you guys like to read at nighttime before you go to bed. So I think if you just make it a point, maybe when you're reading with him, if you come across one of those words, a digraph, you can just kind of say, this is how we say this, and just reiterate that, and that extra practice at home will really help him a lot. Okay. Next, we did fluency. I gave him the San Diego Quick Test. There's different categories for each grade. I gave him the pre-primer since he's in kindergarten and he's never taken this before. He missed 3 of the words, so he was put in the frustration level. This is for, fluency. I don't know if I mentioned that. And so basically that just means he isn't able to look at something and continuously read the entire, what he sees, instead of like sounding out each individual. He can't just look at the word and say it, which is pretty normal for his age. He really struggled with vowel teams. So when there's 2 vowels together, the first one does the talking, the second one does the walking. So the first vowel will be the long vowel, so like the word C, S-E-E. He would say like he didn't know to make the E sound say its name. So that, and once again, that's totally common. One thing we've done with kids in the past that need help with that is flashcards. I have a set I can let you borrow. Just a couple times a week, just have him go through the flashcards and see if he can say the words. A lot of them are sight words, so they should be words that he's comfortable with, but at least he'll get used to seeing those patterns and be more comfortable saying them. And lastly was comprehension. I let him pick out, I had 2 books, he picked Where the Wild Things Were. We read that together, and then I just had him fill out a story map. And that had, like a beginning, middle, and end section of it. And he had to either write words or sentences or draw pictures of what he thought happened during that part of the book. During the middle, he got a little bit tripped up. I think he kind of started making up his own story, wasn't really sure what he wanted to say or what happened. But the beginning and the end, he had really solid. He did a much better job verbally retelling you the story than based off of his chart. And once again, that's pretty common for kindergartners who aren't as comfortable with writing and reading yet. Like, the verbal part of the storytelling he did a great job with that. But yeah, one other thing you can do for him is if you're reading at home, maybe after you've read a couple pages, just kind of stop and say, hey, what did we just read? Like, what happened in the book? Can you explain to me? And that will really help him. I plan on pulling him a couple times when I'm doing group work and get with him more one-on-one for some areas he's struggling in. But like I said, overall, he's doing a really great job, and I'm really excited to see where he goes next. So thank you so much for being with me today.
Oh, of course. Thank you so much.